Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. Today we're stepping way back in time to unpack an absolutely epic, ancient narrative drawn straight from classical texts. Picture this. It's kind of like the highest stakes reality TV dating show you could possibly imagine. But instead of just competing for a rose, the contestants are literally competing for the geopolitical fate of ancient empires. We're going to examine a really pivotal moment of royal matchmaking, political alliance, and personal destiny. This is the story of Pritha, who you probably know better as Kunti, and the Kuru prince Pandu. We're going to break down exactly how this monumental union came to be. We'll look at the strict customs, the intense emotions, and the sheer grand spectacles of the ancient world. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into this by looking at the core problem that sets this entire story in motion. Just imagine this for a second. A princess possesses absolutely every good quality you could ask for, yet no king asks for her hand. It kind of sounds like the setup to a fairy tale, right? But in the context of ancient royal dynasties, this was literally the ultimate PR nightmare. See, marriage wasn't just about romance back then. It was about securing the future, forging ironclad alliances, and maintaining the geopolitical prestige of the whole kingdom. So when a royal daughter remains uncourted, it creates this palpable tension. It's a deep dynastic anxiety that absolutely demands a powerful royal solution.
To really wrap our heads around the sheer perplexity of this situation, we've got to look at the massive disconnect here. Because Pritha, she had it all. The ancient texts describe her as the large-eyed daughter of King Kuntibhoja, endowed with beauty, youth, and every womanly attribute. She's devoted to virtue, she takes rigid vows, and she possesses absolutely every good accomplishment. By all the standards of her time, she is the perfect royal bride. But the baffling reality? It just so happened that no king asked for her hand. This stark contrast between her undeniable worth and her totally uncourted reality is exactly what forces her father to take some unprecedented action.
So, seeing his daughter's predicament, King Kuntibhoja decides to go on the offensive. He leverages a really grand tradition, a husband-choosing assembly. Instead of quietly waiting around for suitors to approach him privately, he essentially hosts the ultimate high-stakes matchmaking event. He sends out these massive invitations to the princes and kings of other countries, bringing the absolute most eligible bachelors of the known world right to his doorstep. And the goal? He desires his daughter to personally select her husband from among these esteemed guests. It's actually a brilliant move. It completely flips the script and shifts the power dynamics entirely into Kunti's hands.
So the stage is set. Imagine the sheer scale, the intimidation factor, and the electric tension of stepping into a massive concourse of crowned heads. Every major political player, every prince, every king from neighboring lands has gathered in one sprawling amphitheater, and they're all vying for the attention of the accomplished daughter of Kuntibhoja. Now into this overwhelming, male-dominated arena of power and ego steps the intelligent Kunti. The atmosphere must have been incredibly thick, just filled with competing monarchs who are all hoping to be the one chosen by the princess.
But amidst this huge sea of royalty, one figure completely commands the room: Pandu. And the ancient texts, they do not hold back when describing him. They call him the foremost of the Bharatas. Notice the intense animal imagery used to convey his sheer dominance here. He's called a tiger among kings, proud as the lion, broad-chested and bull-eyed. He's endued with great strength, literally outshining all the other monarchs in splendor. The text even notes that in this massive royal assemblage, Pandu looked like another Indra, the mighty king of the gods himself. So yeah, he is the undeniable focal point of the entire amphitheater.
Now, what's really interesting here is the profound emotional shift it captures in our narrative. We've just seen the grand, imposing presence of Pandu, but the focus now snaps right back to Kunti. The amiable daughter of faultless features beholds Pandu, this absolute best of men, and the text tells us she becomes very much agitated. Despite the massive crowd of crowned heads watching her every single move, the texts describe her advancing with modesty, all the while quivering with emotion as she places the nuptial garland about Pandu's neck. This is it. This is the climax. She is completely overcome with emotion, making her definitive, undeniable choice. The very second that garland drops around Pandu's neck, the entire massive assembly just dissolves into action. It's a highly efficient, incredibly structured sequence of royal protocol. Step 1. The unchosen monarchs immediately pack up and leave. They return to their respective kingdoms on their elephants, horses, and cars, exactly as they had come. Then, with the competition gone, the bride's father ensures the nuptial rites are performed duly.
After the wedding, King Kuntibhoja presents his powerful new son-in-law with much wealth, and finally, Pandu is sent back to his own capital. It's a total whirlwind.
But Pandu doesn't just quietly slip back home. Oh no, he returns as a conqueror of hearts and an establisher of serious alliances. This wasn't just a commute, it was a massive public PR tour. He's accompanied by a large force, looking visually stunning with various kinds of banners and pennons waving in the air. But it's not just a military display either, it's deeply spiritual and cultural. He is eulogized by brahmanas, and great rishis are pronouncing benedictions over him. These celebrations were essentially ancient political broadcasts, telegraphing his great good fortune and his powerful new union to the entire world.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how highly this newly formed couple was viewed by their contemporaries. To really grasp the sheer gravity of this marriage, the ancient texts explicitly compare our newlyweds, the Kuru Prince Pandu and the daughter of Kuntibhoja, to Maghavat and Palomi. For context, that's the king and queen of the Celestials. This isn't just flowery poetic language, it's a testament to the immense political and social weight of their union. By comparing them to divine royalty, the narrative is basically screaming at us that this is a marriage of world-shifting importance. The grand journey finally concludes, and Kunti is officially established as queen within Pandu's palace. The deep, agonizing anxiety of King Kuntibhoja over his perfect yet uncourted daughter, that is officially resolved. Kunti has gone from a princess waiting in the wings to the established queen of the foremost of the Bharatas, sitting squarely at the very center of Kuru power. So we've seen the incredible staging, the intense emotional tension, and the sheer mythological grandeur of this marriage. But we really have to ask, how did this meticulously staged royal union shape the lasting legacy of the Kuru dynasty? Because this wasn't merely the end of a courtship. It was the foundational bedrock for the generations that would follow, setting the stage for the greatest epics of the ancient world. I encourage you to keep that question lingering in your mind as you explore more about these ancient narratives. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep questioning the history behind the legends.